Hey, love, can we go to bed? It's past 1 a.m. and I'm really tired. You're so tired you could sleep standing up. Why are we both awake then? Come on, off to bed we go. Mm. Come here. Can I play with your hair? Yay. Hmm. What's up? I thought you said you were tired. Oh, your body's tired, but your mind isn't. Alright, let's see. Do you want me to just ramble for a bit? Might help lull you to sleep if I talk about some random shit for a while. Alright, let's see. What can I talk about? What can I talk about? Oh, um, I went to a reptile show. Uh, there were literally thousands of animals there. Um, and probably at least like 1,000 people too. It was really big. It was in this big open warehouse. Um, and well, I think it was like an expo center, but it was just wide open space. Anyway, uh, tickets weren't too expensive, which was good. Um, I went and there were so many different kinds of animals. There were like, oh my god, snakes and spiders and iguanas and chameleons and monitors and caimans, and they even had ducks, and they had like feeder rats and stuff. Um, just really, really cool. Loved it a lot. Um, I stayed for about 2 hours actually, just to get through everything, just to be able to see everything. It was awesome. Um, but yeah, that was really cool. I didn't buy anything. I wanted to though. There were many things I wanted to buy, but I don't have the money nor capacity to buy them. So I didn't. I restrained myself. But that was super fun. Um, what else? I have a blister forming on my finger. I know that's kind of gross, but it's from playing guitar. Um, I've just been like, it's from the bar chords, because you use like part of your finger, your index finger for that, and then it hasn't built up a callus yet, so it's just, bleh. I mean, it's starting to form. That's good. Um, but yeah, whenever I play guitar, it kind of hurts. Um, a couple weeks ago, I went and saw Music Man on Broadway with Hugh Jackman. I would say with Sutton Foster as well, but she had COVID, unfortunately. Um, so her understudy was on, and she was amazing. Oh my god. Um, and the chemistry between them was great for being like, Hugh Jackman was the main person, and then you'd think that there'd be like a different kind of chemistry, but with an understudy as opposed to Sutton Foster. But they had great chemistry, and it was awesome to see. Um, and I hadn't listened to all the songs nor seen like a full production of the musical before, so I was just kind of going in blind. I'd only heard a couple of the most popular songs, um, but it was really really cool. It's my second ever Broadway show that I've ever seen. The first one being Dear Evan Hansen, when Andrew Barth Feldman was playing Evan, and that was also amazing. That was a couple years ago. Um, what else? On the topic of musicals, I guess. I just did Mamma Mia recently. I played Sam. Um, that was super duper fun. Uh, the only other like real quote unquote musical that I've done um, real meaning that it was like a couple months long of preparation, was Sideshow, which is a wonderful musical. Um, I do have to say, though, it's very depressing. So unless you want to cry, don't listen to it, don't watch it. But it's so good. But Mamma Mia was just like complete 180 of that. It was such a different feel. Um, so much fun to perform. A couple of my best friends also got a couple of the lead roles, so that was great. We had a lot of fun. It was double casted, which means that we had two casts in the sense that um, each of the lead characters was played by two people. So, like on one night, uh, one cast would be on, and the other cast would sing in the pit orchestra. And then on the other night, then the other cast would be on stage, and the cast that was previously on stage is singing in the pit orchestra, and we just kind of switched off. So that was really fun. And I thought there was going to be a lot of like animosity between the two casts. Um, just because it's like, oh, you have a different interpretation of the character than I do, and that's wrong, and you're wrong, and you suck. But there wasn't any of that. It was like, oh, you think of this character differently than I do. Cool. I'd love to hear about it. So that was great. Um, I'm writing a song, a couple songs actually, but the main one is called Take Me to the Moon. Um, I am a maniac, so I I can't stop writing different like musical parts for it. Like so far I have the melody, which is going to be sung. It's my first song ever with lyrics actually. All my other ones have just been instrumental. But this one I have the voice line, the piano, guitar, clarinet, flute, violin, viola, cello, and bass. And I mean, the rate I'm going, I'm just going to keep adding more and more until I have a symphony. But I mean, I got to stop at some point. When I started writing the guitar, actually, just acoustic guitar, um, I'm thinking about maybe having two versions of the song, like having a like a full version, so to speak, with all the instruments, all the whatever, and then doing a stripped down version with either just guitar or maybe guitar and piano. I'm not sure yet, but the goal is I'd love to be able to perform it, like for my friends or something. So if I just pick like the piano or guitar, then I can do that, because obviously I can't do multiple at once. I can sing and play the instruments, but I can't, you know, I can't play a violin while also playing piano, while also playing guitar and whatever. Um, I guess moving away from music for a second, but still like entertainment wise, I haven't like fully finished reading a book in a long time for fun. Um, and I picked up one recently. It was only a couple bucks, called Iris by Andrew Gates. Really, really cool concept. I'll just go over like the brief kind of synopsis of, or outline, whatever you want to call it. Essentially, uh, it's set in a futuristic world on Earth, um, and society has kind of fallen apart, and nuclear war has broken out, and because of that, um, the surface is unlivable. So, what did humanity do? They decided to go to the bottom of the ocean to live. And scientists had predicted that this nuclear war was going to break out, um, years in advance. So they started building these like stations underwater, for humanity to go to when this all inevitably was going to happen. And there was what they called the dark years, because once nuclear war broke out, the stations weren't ready. They weren't. They'd been building them, but they weren't able to sustain life at that point. So humanity cryogenically froze itself. Um, and then they woke up once the station was ready. The station woke them up. And then the story follows a surface history teacher at a middle school named Iris, and hence the name of the book. And it just follows the story of her exploring and trying to figure out what happened to a ship that was on or a submarine that was on a routine test mission, that ended up getting destroyed by a blast of big light. That's the introduction to the book. It's this mission for a new submarine. They're trying to see, they're trying to test a couple different things about it, and there's this huge, really hot, really bright ball of light that attacks their submarine, and goes missing. So it's Iris's job. She's contacted by the government of the station to figure out what happened, because they believe it might have been something on the surface, and she teaches surface history. Surface history being history that we experience today, what today would have been like, since it's been a couple hundred years that they've been living underwater, so no one remembers the surface, and she teaches about that. So it's a really cool book. I think I'm 3/4 of the way through. Really, really cool. I don't know how many copies were sold, but maybe you can try and find it. My brother got a puppy. His name is Pumpkin. He's very sweet. He's 8 weeks old. And I love him a lot. He's an Australian Shepherd Poodle mix. Miniature poodle mix. So he's 5 pounds now. He's gonna be between 15 and 20 pounds when he's fully grown. And he has what's called the blue merle coloring. So it's kind of like a black, white, gray kind of mixture. He's really, really cute. Got to play with him just this past weekend. He's adorable. He likes chewing on everything. So he wants to chew on your fingers, but we're trying to teach him not to do that. I'm going on a trip, a camping trip, to stargaze soon. That'll be really fun. Yeah, it's one of the only places I've really been to stargaze, because where I live, you can see some stars, but nothing like the place that I'm going. I've been there a couple times previously, and it's really, really cool. On a clear night, you can see the Milky Way, and it's just so pretty. So I'm going next week, I think. Yeah, next week. I had to check the calendar for a second. So I'm really excited about that. In the meantime, I'm just chilling. I want to get back into meditation. That's something that I tried for a little while, and it really helped. Just kind of sitting with myself and experiencing the silence, and just relaxing, just trying to take in the moment, be in the present. I love that feeling, and I don't do it as often as I should. So I wanna get back into a routine habit of doing that, maybe once a day or something like that. Just doesn't have to be super long, maybe just for 5 or 10 minutes a day. But it really did help. It was a nice way to kind of ground myself and stay in the present, you know. Um, and I guess kind of on that topic, there's a book that I love. It's called The Power of Now. Not sure if I've talked to you about it before. Probably have, but I can't remember. Um, it's by Eckhart Tolle, um, and uh, it's essentially talking about, well, I mean, as the title says, the power of now. But what does that mean? Um, it's talking about living in the present and not getting caught up in what he describes as the ego, which is kind of the part of your mind that produces thoughts and um, I mean that's the biggest part, just the part of your mind that produces thoughts to such an extent that it's where intrusive thoughts come from, it's where depression and things stem from, and he just kind of describes it in a non-religious way, which is really cool. Um, he makes references to Buddhism, um, but predominantly it's just kind of laying it out um, in a way that, at least to me, makes a lot of sense and really helped me out. Um, it's actually kind of funny because the reason I'd found the book was a couple of years ago. I was watching, God, I was watching an interview of Chris Evans, and he was just answering some questions. Um, and I forget what the question was, but he mentioned that book, and I'm like, ooh, well, if Chris Evans read it, I probably should. So I did, and I'm like, oh my God. And it's all annotated. I have, like, I wrote in all the margins. I highlighted stuff. Oh my God. I, it was almost like it was a project, but it was like a personal project, and it was really the leaping off point for me in terms of like starting my journey towards getting better, so to speak, because I was in a really dark place a couple of years ago. Um, and I read that book and it just kind of all clicked. And then I started implementing the things that I learned in the book, and along with some other things and talking to friends and, you know, all that kind of stuff, then I'm in a much better place now, which is really, really nice. But that book really helped. Um, and I guess part of that is just I have more respect for myself now, and I'm learning to take more risks. I was a very kind of sheltered, very like follow the rules, analytical. You do as you're told, you do your work, you get perfect grades, all that kind of thing. I was that kind of kid. Um, and I just kind of learned over time, years, um, that I don't have to be that way. I can talk to people. I can, well, I can talk to people and I can enjoy it. It doesn't have to be this huge, big deal that I was making it out to be, where it's like I have to have the perfect impression and I have to be liked and I have to whatever. I've learned to just be myself and talk to people however I want to. And it's been really nice. Um, and part of that is just kind of expressing myself, which I've kind of learned to do. Um, I the way my friends describe it is like, you know how in a video game they have like the um, default clothes for your character, and then like if you upgrade or you unlock this achievement, then you can get new shirts or new pants or new shoes or whatever, new customization options. They were just like, you're the default, because all I wear are like plain t-shirts, like solid color t-shirts and gym shorts, and that's all I wear. Um, but I've learned to kind of branch out a bit and wear like some button ups and some khaki shorts or whatever, like khaki colored shorts, and um, I customized some Converse shoes recently, and they're so cool. I love them a lot. I'm only wearing them on special occasions because I don't want to get them dirty. Um, but they're really pretty. Um, and like I'm starting to wear rings now. I have a little spinner fidget ring thing that I like playing with whenever I'm anxious and stuff. Um, I have one that I found on the floor. It was just when I was out and about. It was just on the floor, and I looked around. Nobody seemed to want it, so I picked it up, and it's on my finger now. Somehow it fit. I'm kind of surprised. It's like a perfect fit. So it's almost like it was meant to be. Um, and then I have a Spider-Man ring. um, it has the different logos on it, like the different Spider-Man logos from um, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland playing Spider-Man. But it's really cool. And like I wear some shirts that have like different designs on them. Some of them I just get from like Five Below, but um, like I have some that have like skulls and roses, or like different musicals that I've been in, or just other patterns, designs, stuff like that. Things that have a pattern, not just solid color shirts like I used to wear. Which reminds me, I need to do laundry. Um, I don't know if you need to do laundry or not, but maybe we can do that when we wake up in the morning. Um, I have this vision of what I want our room to look like. I don't know if you'll ever agree to it, but I love kind of like the foresty kind of vibe. Um, so I'd love to get like, those fake garlands of like fake leaves and um, mainly just kind of leaves and stuff, leaves and branches. I'd love to put a bunch of those up, just like on the ceiling, just kind of drape them around. Um, and I looked online, they have like these vintage artwork cards. They're not actually vintage, but the artwork is, um, it's just a variety of things. It looks vintage anyway. Um, it'll have like, um, a map of the world from like the 1500s, or some skulls, or a butterfly, or whatever else, and it's just all done in this really cool style. So I was thinking we could put some of those up around the wall. Um, I know if we go to maybe like a craft store or something, then we could get some like fake flowers, cut them up, like just a bouquet of flowers, fake flowers, cut them into individual ones, and then maybe like hang those around the room and from like fishing line or something, and then I'm at above head level obviously, but look like they're floating or something, and we could have a bunch of lights in the room, and I love this kind of stuff. I love designing whatever. Um, yeah, but maybe I can talk to you about that in the morning. Or actually, I think you're asleep. Are you asleep?